Are you still sitting in the dark?
Yes.
Nice.
The room next to me, the light's on, and that's just because I'm too lazy to get up and get it. But my room is dark.
That's nice.
Hey. Oh yeah, never mind. Severance was a really good one this week. We'll talk about it during the podcast, though.
Welcome to another episode of Pajiba, the Pajiba television podcast. I'm Pajiba comedy editor Dan Hamamura, and with me as always are Pajiba managing editor Tori Preston.
Hello, Dan. You sound so much more chipper this week.
Oh, thanks, Tori.
More fancy.
It's because Dustin. You're not allowed to talk
fancy.
until you're
Sorry.
until you're introduced. It's because I'm no longer sick, and also I'm able to drink. So two things. And
You're
also,
effervescent.
oh well, thank you. And also, you've already heard his stupid voice. Fat Riffs McGee himself, Dustin Rolls.
My family and I, before the podcast, were trying to decide what was the best riff ever, and we just kept playing different riffs for each other, and it was probably annoying for anybody else. Just like, no, hear this one, listen to this one, listen to this one.
Now, when you say riff, you mean like musical riff?
Yeah, guitar
Okay.
riffs.
And what was the winner?
I think we agreed that it was, maybe Back in Black.
Okay.
I mean, that's okay. They're better.
Can you-
I'm just curious, when you say it would have been annoying for anyone else, who else was listening?
No, I'm just saying if somebody had walked in and just seen us sort of like competing with each other, trying to one-up each other with the best riffs. On our phones. No, listen to this one on my phone. No, listen to this one on my phone.
I mean, it sounds like a pretty normal, wholesome activity.
Yeah, I suppose so.
All right. Well, I've already lost all momentum. Thanks, Dustin.
You're welcome.
We're talking about TV as always. We may have recorded for a little bit before this, and we might all be drinking. I don't know. I'm definitely drinking.
What are you drinking, Dan?
Oh, thanks. I'm drinking. I'm drinking some Glenlivet, the 12-year whiskey, which was
fancy.
It was what caught my eye in the magic liquor cabinet. So
that's how you make up for a lost week of drinking.
Yeah.
it's pretty good. Yeah, because last week I was definitely too sober. So
Yeah.
and
It was
Coke?
brutal,
it
Dan.
showed.
Man,
Tori, what about you?
I'm having some red wine. Whatever the stuff I've been buying lately, Tutungen. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right. It's a Cabernet Sauvignon from Chile.
I mentioned on Friday I had a recipe I had to make that needed a quarter cup of Cabernet Sauvignon, and then I ended up drinking the entire rest of the bottle. And it's been a long time since I drank wine because on the podcast I used to drink a bottle each night, and that was too much. Mm-hmm. So I had to quit the wine, but then I did it again on Friday. And my God, that is a good drunk.
Yes.
It's a really good drunk.
It's nice.
Yeah.
And I need to get it in because I have a feeling our Fiscal First Quarter Categorization Challenge is going to break my heart this week. I've been dreading it. So hopefully I will have had enough of this bottle that I will be irate, but not feeling pain.
Right.
It'll be a weepy drunk.
Well, it'll be great when we get to the matchup,
angry.
the Tori versus Tori matchup. But that's
I have no one to blame but myself.
yeah.
Felicity's still in, right?
Felicity
Is it?
may have been eliminated, but it's all right, Dustin. You still got. I think you still have it. Do you still have a show?
I don't think so. There's 3 cartoons in
Oh.
Justified.
So Dustin can't lose no matter what, is what we're saying.
Yeah, Dustin. But remember how we let Dustin have extra shows?
We did.
We did.
And Dustin, I remember you very specifically saying that you were not adjusting your strategy. You just had kind of like a set strategy from the beginning, and that maybe that's what happened. Maybe it was the inability to adjust to new circumstances.
I think it was spite. It was pure spite.
I mean, look, I will admit that adjusting to circumstances is how I ended up in this position. But on the other hand, I got some stuff through to the semifinals. So
yeah, three Tori shows.
Yeah, spite.
Wait, 3? There 3 of them are mine?
Yeah, the only one that's not is Clone High.
Oh, which I'm actually really happy about. Well, I'm just saying, maybe Dustin could have picked some better shows.
I picked Felicity.
And
you don't get better.
I'm pretty sure we discussed that last week when we didn't vote for it.
Mean.
I'm
Took
sorry.
that very personally.
You didn't remember until just now.
Well, I was getting myself ready to defend it again.
I mean, you can. We haven't decided about our wild card.
That's true. Wait, Dustin, did you actually say what you were drinking, or were we still in the preamble of you drank wine last week?
I did drink wine last week, but now I'm drinking Oxbow, one of my favorite local craft brews.
Is it?
It's a pale ale, which means an IPA, right, Tori?
An IPA is a type of pale ale, yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. See?
It doesn't mean it is a pale ale, an IPA. It's just...
Right.
It's a less hoppy IPA.
Okay.
I had a whole conversation with a guy at the grocery store about, and he clearly works for like the beverage distributor person and like company. Mm-hmm. And because he saw me getting my usual rack of Polar seltzer, because I'm super classy, and he was asking me like, "Oh, do you like that flavor?" And then we started out talking about seltzer flavors. Then we started talking like about recycling and like plastic versus cans, because like it's Vermont, so like everyone's kind of hippies, but also like whatever. And then started.
I don't know what that whatever means.
Well, I'm still buying a bunch of cans of seltzer, so I'm clearly not like that.
Fair.
And the struggles I face where it's like I need to compost because it's the law, but like I have bears, so how do I compost? Just the normal local chit chat at the grocery store. But because he's the beverage guy, he also stocks all of the beers. And so he started going on a whole tangent about how he doesn't understand why people in Vermont are obsessed with IPAs. And some of the weird flavored stuff, and he's like, I go around and I'm stocking stuff, and it's like these brewers, they're just putting whatever in their beer, and it was just one of the most delightful conversations I've had. It's like, I really like beer, but man, what are these people thinking? And they just, we just put it and I have to check it if it doesn't sell, because if it goes bad, but they just keep making crap. And I'm like, you're in a state with so many microbreweries. So anyway, IPAs.
We also drink Polar, and we drank so much of it that eventually we bought one of those fizzy water thingies.
Yeah, he was asking. The guy who literally stocks seltzer at the grocery store was telling me I should just get one of those.
We got one and we used it for 3 weeks, and we went right back to Polar.
That's the thing. So I had one for a while, and my problem was that because you have to get the cartridge.
Yeah, what a pain in the ass.
Yeah, you have to recycle it at like Bed Bath & Beyond or whatever. Although then so this is what he did tell me, pro tip from the guy who shouldn't have been telling me this. He's like, if you want the cartridges, it's the exact same cartridge that you use for paintball guns.
Oh, wow.
So he's like, just order a case of paintball gun cartridge. Like yeah, and it'll fit in your machine and give you seltzer.
What is your Polar preference flavor?
Okay, so I always get their they have those limeade or lemonade flavors now, and they have them, and so you're just picking, like, I get the mango or the blood orange usually, but then those are the two most popular flavors. So then he and I were gossiping about like which ones are the worst selling and which ones just are god awful. Because I will also get their starfruit one is surprisingly good, but
Oh
no
no,
one,
no.
because it doesn't sell well because no one knows in Vermont knows what the fuck a starfruit is. But it's like the ones that you wouldn't expect, like the blueberry one is terrible because
Oof.
fake blueberry flavor is the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, yeah, it
It's just,
is.
it's terrible. So,
Oof.
yeah, he knows a lot about polar seltzer and it made me really happy.
We are almost exclusively raspberry lime people.
I mean, it's a solid choice.
Yeah, yeah.
It goes well
We
with
don't
vodka. It goes well on its own.
we don't have all of those choices though. We only have like 5 different flavors at our grocery stores.
Oh no.
Yeah, we don't blueberry. I've never even seen that.
Well, it's blueberry lemonade, I think. Mine is mango
Nice.
limeade.
I haven't seen that one either.
No, it's like a whole special line they do. That's always a fruit plus either lemonade or limeade. They come in brightly colored boxes. You haven't seen them?
We just get the regular basic flavor like lime and then orange and raspberry lime and
Did you get
plain.
the special Valentine's Day mystery flavors?
No.
They have one that's
What?
a black label and one that's a red label, and they put them out every year, and they usually have like funny phrases on them. Although last year it was like I'm not single, I'm quarantining, which was a little rude. But the black label one is blackberry champagne flavored seltzer, which is better than
Oh.
you'd think. And then the red label one, I want to say, is like strawberry passion fruit or something like that. But they're both very, very good. They're the Valentine's Day ones.
Did your new friend tell you what happened to LaCroix? It just kind of like it seemed to have imploded. It's not even available at a lot of our stores anymore.
So my store has a bunch of it, but they're all putting it on discount because I think so. The thing with the claw, it's still doing fine, but I think they got kind of cocky and they're not nearly as good as Polar about their flavors. So they started coming out with like some weird flavored liqueurs, and they were. I bought one because I was like, oh, like I don't mind liqueur, and like it was on sale at the grocery store. They had like a whole display of hibiscus flavored liqueur, and I was like, oh, that could be
no.
good. It tasted like cough syrup.
Yeah.
It was foul. So I'm like, yeah, and then I just when I went back this past time when I was obviously just buying Polar to be safe, they had like 3 other flavors that were all on like super discount, and I'm like, oh, so LaCroix came out with a bunch of weird things and nobody is buying them, so now all the grocery stores are stuck with them, just like trying, like marking them down like 2 boxes for $6, whatever, like just get them out of here.
Well, they were always like $1.50 more than Polar, and I think that's why people just stopped.
Yeah.
They were like, fuck it, I'll just get Polar. It's much cheaper.
Yeah. My friend John of
Oh, yes. Bartending
fame, Drink What You Want cocktail book available now. So I remember he did a taste test of different seltzers for the purpose, like if you're going to do cocktails, but like without mixing them. It was like, a lot of times they're people like seltzer. There's a bunch of different brands. Let's actually do a blind taste test to find the best seltzer. And he covered everything. I mean, it was, I know Topo Chico is in it or whatever that one is. And Polar won.
Yeah,
But
makes sense.
the flavor profiles they were looking at, it was like the size of the bubble, the amount of like the effervescence in it, like everything.
Wow.
And yeah, like out of all, yeah, like there were different categories, and he got other like bartending friends or whatever, and they all did a blind taste test, and Polar won against like huge names. So I'm not like, it's science basically. It's Polar's better. God, would they sponsor us?
They should.
They
Polar?
should. Yeah.
I mean, why not? Polar, if you're listening, just hit us up.
Just give
This
us.
has been Water Talk, and we can do it weekly just for you.
Talk to Love Spackle, producer Seth on Twitter. He'll handle our bookings. I have only barely heard of Polar, so
Yeah, I do
What?
think it's a very northeastern thing.
Yeah, I don't
Oh.
I think I've seen it, but I've definitely never had it.
Yeah, because where are they based? Massachusetts?
I have no idea. I didn't.
know.
I just thought everybody had the same ones.
I'm looking because I'm looking at like a list of the 15 best sparkling water brands
15.
from Women's Health
And do
and Polar. They have Polar ranked number 2.
They have
What's
Canada
number
Dry.
one?
They have Spindrift number 1,
Oh, those
that's-
things suck.
which I've also never had.
No,
Those
no,
are terrible.
they're good, but they're juice.
No,
They have juice.
I don't like them. Yeah, I don't like them.
Oh, okay, so Polar is like the best one for like no juice.
Spindrift is great. Well, they only have like 10% juice, so it's like it's barely there. But their grapefruit one is very, very good, and again, excellent with tequila. It's great. It's a great mixer.
But also pricier.
Yeah, no, yeah, the Spindrift, they're expensive. It's apparently that 10% juice. You know, look, supply chain issues. It's hard to get grapefruit. Like, anyway.
So television.
Oh, are we doing that now?
Is there a
What
show,
are we watching?
Is there a show about sparkling water rivalry? Like
There
that
should be like
feels
a
like
grifter show about like a guy that started like a polar type place and then flamed out because he got too cocky. A disruptor.
Disruptor. The seltzer disruptor.
I'm going to change this industry.
Wouldn't it be about whoever came up with the soda stream?
Maybe I no, but at what point? I'm sorry to go back to the water, but I don't know when this was. It was like 5, 6, 7 years ago. Everybody just switched to seltzer all of a sudden.
No, it was way before that. But it was also so I could never get seltzer in Vermont. Never had it. It was not a thing. Moved to New York, everyone has seltzer. Every bodega has seltzer. You can get seltzer all the time. And I got hooked on it because it was how I got off of drinking soda. Right. And I think that's how a lot of people,
Right.
And it's
Me too.
especially like this generational thing where like, you kind of grow up drinking a lot of soda because your parents, like nobody was ever like, I mean, it's bad for you, but it's not that bad. And you're like, oh no, it's actually like really pretty bad. So then seltzer was kind of the happy medium. By the time I was in New York for like 15, 16 years, by the time I came back to Vermont, suddenly there was seltzer everywhere.
Huh? Yeah, but it just felt like it happened very quickly all at once to me.
One of my favorite details in American Pickle, which was the dual Seth Rogen Simon Rich movie. Yeah.
Weirdly hot Seth Rogen.
Right,
Yeah.
but it was the old-timey one was the hot one, the one who probably smelled like pickles, which I think about a lot. And I'm like, I don't know if he was hotter because I was imagining him smelling like pickles or if he was actually just like objectively hotter, but like probably both. Pickles are great. Anyway, my favorite detail about it is like when he, wakes up in his pickle vat and like meets his whatever great grandson or whatever the relationship there is, and he's like, wait, you just like make your own seltzer, and to him that's like the height of privilege. It's just like you just have seltzer in your home. You just have seltzer all the time. You can just drink all the seltzer you want. And I was like, it's so sweet. You're right. We should view our lives in terms of like these everyday privileges that our ancestors didn't have, like constant seltzer.
We're paying twice as much for bubbly water than we are for like soda now.
And yet SodaStream has been around since 1903.
It has not.
Or, well, at least the company that founded it.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
Well, maybe they just invent things. What else did they invent?
Let's see. History. The forerunner of the machine, the, quote, apparatus for aerating liquids, was created in 1903 by Guy Hugh Gibley of the London Gin Distillers W&A Gibley Limited. Blah, blah, blah. Flavored concentrates, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so they were... Huh. But the first home machine for home carbonation was produced in 1955.
Well,
so...
But they always had the seltzer. Remember the bottles with the little...
Oh, yeah. So they were doing commercial seltzer up until that point.
Yeah.
But also, SodaStream machines were popular during the 70s and 80s in the UK and are associated with nostalgia for that period. which is funny because I do have like a vague sense, like not even a memory, but like an idea of like, oh yeah, this is like one of those things that people thought was cool a while ago, and then came back somehow, like in the last 10 years.
Like Tamagotchis.
Yes. Or like, remember when lava lamps came back, and that was like in the 90s?
Yes.
They came
After and they
that.
had been gone for like 20 years already at that point.
I'm traumatized by the No, literally, I have a traumatic memory of the lava lamp revival.
Wait, why is that? Or is it not a story you can tell?
No, I can tell it. What unmentionable lava lamp story
I
could I
don't
possibly
know.
have? Oh my god. No, so I was in 6th grade, so I was like 12 years old, and I was babysitting these kids down the road. And there were 2 of them. I think they were like 6 and 8, maybe. And I'd never seen a lava lamp in my life. And their mom had one. It was like unplugged. It was just like on this shelf. And so you know how lava lamps have like the glass cylinder with the fucking globs in it.
Right.
And then there's the base that has the light that heats up the globs.
Yep.
But it's 2 separate pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. So I walk up to it and I'm like, oh, this is like a cool globby sculpture thing. And like I go to pick it up, except that I think I was picking it up by the base, and then the glass part just toppled and shattered.
Oh, no.
And so I've got these 2 children, a bunch of broken glass, something that I have no idea the value because I don't understand what a lava lamp is. And so I just think I like destroyed a prized possession and also put her children. And I'm like trying, and like it was almost the end of my shift, and she like walks in right then. And so I'm so scared. I'm like crying while picking up glass with my hands, and I'm like, I don't know what to do about the globs. And she's like, oh my god, honey, just leave it, just go home. She did not fire me. And then later my parents bought me a lava lamp. And I was like, I'm happy, but also you're just rubbing salt in the wound. So I was like afraid to touch it. I just set it somewhere, and like I was like, I'll turn it on, but I'm never moving it.
Oh, that is traumatic.
I was so scared.
Yeah, I can see that.
Also, probably would have helped if I had any idea what a lava lamp was before I broke it. But the great thing about breaking things is now you know how they work. So, like, I know it comes in 2 pieces.
What is the globules made of?
I have no idea. I don't remember. I kind of blacked out a little bit. They were just kind of like all over the floor, and I felt horrible. Her children were there, and I just shattered glass everywhere, and something that could have been poison. What are they?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Let's see.
What if they're poison?
And a transparent, translucent, or opaque mix of mineral oil, paraffin wax, and carbon tetrachloride.
I don't know what that word is. Maybe it's poison.
It's just blobs of stuff.
Yes.
Anyway, back to television.
Back to it.
So
did we start?
We were talking about the show about a grifter SodaStream inventor.
That's right.
But look, the point is that all of this would probably make sense if you were watching a little show called Riverdale.
It's back.
You can say that because no one's watching it and no one can prove you wrong.
Well, we've all read Dustin's recap, and if you haven't, you should on Vajiba.com.
It makes no sense.
Right, but Dustin's going to start off and let us know what's going on in Riverdale with the return of Dustin's Riverdale recap.
Woohoo!
Dustin, please take it away.
All right. Briefly, the first 6 episodes of the season took place in a pocket universe where all the characters died, but they just kept coming back to life. And then Hiram Lodge set up in the existing universe. Hiram Lodge planted a bomb in Archie's house, and it exploded, and basically ended the pocket universe.
Wait.
Which is the pocket universe is it's what
multiversal. So, but it was Rivervale, right?
Riverdale, yeah.
Okay, so this was my question. So the bomb was in the real show universe.
Yes.
And that is somehow what destroyed the pocket universe.
Yes.
How?
Don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I mean, I don't think anybody. It was just one of those things. They're like, It just happened.
So did you see the bomb in the real world thingy happening while the Pocket Universe episodes were happening? Or was it like you got to the end of those episodes and the new batch of episodes started and it's like, oh, there's a bomb?
Well, they knew there was a bomb in the Pocket Universe and they had to, like, do something for the bomb to go off. God, I don't even know how to explain it. It was so confusing and nonsensical. All I know is that Jughead had to agree in Riverdale to write about the Riverdale characters in order to keep them alive, even though the Pocket Universe is no longer part of the story.
Wait, so the Riverdale versions are still alive?
Well, as long as Jughead writes about them, although I don't think we'll ever see them again.
So it's like one of those, like, it's like that what's that called, that picture, Coco. It's like the movie Coco, where, like, you remember people so they're not dead yet.
Yes, I guess so. But the Pocket Universe no longer matters. What matters this season, I mean the rest of the season anyway, is that the bomb that blew up Archie's house turned Archie and Betty into superheroes. Or they gave them superpowers.
So they weren't hurt?
No, because Archie wrapped himself around Betty, and Archie is now like the Man of Steel. He's impenetrable and super strong, and you can't hurt him.
Okay.
And then Betty, when she sees somebody who's menacing, or if they're threatening or whatever, a red glow goes around them, so she knows who the bad people are.
That's not really a superpower. I mean, people can read auras.
Well, I mean, it's very... Okay, I don't know, but it's...
Some people read auras.
Okay, I don't know. I've never heard of such a thing, but she's
You've never
very
heard
good
of
at it.
people who can read auras?
Not like this. I mean, she sees them turn red.
But she only sees menacing. She doesn't see, like, people who are happy or, like, people who are, sick or, I don't know.
Just menacing, so far. And Jughead went deaf. And it's unclear if that's going to turn into a superpower. And meanwhile, Veronica Lodge put out a hit on her father and had him killed for planting the bomb. So Mark Consuelos is out of the show.
Okay.
It was for a guy who's been like the big bad for this entire series, it was sort of like, I mean, he was killed off screen. And it's very anticlimactic end to his run. But he left the show, so what are you going to do? And then Cheryl is now possessed by one of her ancestors who was burned at the stake in 1890.
But that was from the Pocket Universe, I thought.
Yes. So some of this leaked out somehow. I don't know. I don't understand why. Some of the Pocket Universe stuff still exists and some of it doesn't. But I don't think they know themselves. They just kind of they're like, fuck it.
And you said something about a dog that broke all of its legs?
Oh, yeah, in the bomb, Bingo, Archie's dog, broke all 4 legs, but then they healed because the dog has superpowers.
Does that mean that the dog has special healing?
Yes.
So why is the bomb... What was so special about the bomb? Was it made
No
of
idea.
lava lamp?
No, nothing as far as we know.
So either they had the powers to begin with and this awoke them, or the bomb was somehow special.
You're trying to make sense of Riverdale.
I'm just asking, are we dealing with an X-Men situation where it's like genetic, like it was already part of them, or are we dealing with the Flash or whatever, where something imbues him with power?
Yeah, actually the Flash is what I thought of this whole thing. Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know how they're going to use these superpowers. I don't even know what. There's one serial killer on the loose, the trash bag killer. Has
that been a thing before?
He was a thing, but he happened to be a thing at the end of the 5th season, which I'd quit Riverdale briefly for like a few episodes. And and then I missed the trash bag killer. But whatever, it was like when it was a serial killer when Betty was training at the FBI before she became an FBI agent.
So when you say trash bag killer, Is it a killer with a trash bag on, or a killer who kills with trash bags, or a killer who puts the killed into trash bags?
He wears a trash bag over his face.
That's the worst option. Like, that's how you suffocate. Like, you could use your trash bag in your murders.
Right.
You don't have to wear it.
Yeah.
Are there, like, air holes?
I think so. And I'm trying to think. I think he might have killed the guy in this episode with the trash bag, too.
Oh, so it's like a multi-purpose tool.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on because I didn't know who the trash bag killer is until I looked him up, and I thought it was Archie wearing a trash bag and killing this guy because he had hit on Betty.
Okay, so all of these events, how many episodes are they taking place over?
What do you mean?
Is this one episode?
Oh, yeah, this was all. I mean, the Pocket Universe was the first 6 episodes. But
Right,
the
no, I
Pocket
understand, but I'm
Universe,
saying
all the
everything...
superpower stuff was today. Yeah,
that's all
right.
one episode, plus the Veronica killing her dad.
And
plus,
Cheryl being possessed. Yeah.
And the trash bag
Well,
killer
but Cheryl
killing...
being possessed also happened in the Pocket Universe.
No. Cheryl wasn't possessed. Somebody else was possessed, and in this episode, that person went from Britta to Cheryl. Because Nana Rose did a banishment, or told Cheryl that she was doing a banishment spell, but in reality, she was just transferring Abigail from Britta to Cheryl.
Okay, but how's the maple syrup doing?
I don't know. They don't really talk about the maple syrup.
That's
lately.
Bullshit.
I know.
Oh, right. Wasn't
Also,
that like the source of their wealth?
Yes, but where is Riverdale set?
New
There's
Hampshire.
not a lot of... Oh, it is? Oh, okay.
Which means
All
it's
right. That
inferior,
makes sense.
but...
But
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
My kids literally will not eat New Hampshire maple syrup.
Well, of course not. Why would
They
you?
can... they can tell the difference. Like, sometimes we will give it to them and we won't tell them what it is. And they were like, no, this stuff is gross. We can't eat this. And we're like, how the fuck did you know? And they just know.
Yeah, it's from New Hampshire.
Yeah. They'll eat Maine and Vermont, but
Yeah,
no New Hampshire.
and Canada's good. Canada's like, I mean, it's fine. It's like, it's of a level. It's all kind of, it's, Vermont, Maine, like, they're better. I have there's a person with a sugar bush literally up the road from me, and they make a big deal out of the fact that they, like, wood fire everyone wood fires it, but they have, like, this, like, bird safe sugar bush, and, like, they do all this conservation stuff, and then they slow cook all of their syrup over this, and they don't produce that much, but you can actually taste the difference. It's almost too sweet. And I say that as someone who puts maple syrup in, like, frickin' everything. And I like their stuff, but it's like, I can whatever they're doing to make it, I can taste the difference.
I don't get it. I mean, I didn't have real maple syrup until I was, like, I don't know, 26. No, probably 29.
But you know it. I mean, like, you understand, right?
I mean, it's better. I don't know if it's that
Dustin,
much. I mean,
just think about the words. Just think about the words that are about to come out of your mouth.
Listen, all I'm saying is, like, maple syrup costs like $17, and the shit, Aunt Jemima or whatever, is like $2.
Yeah, but you wouldn't put Aunt Jemima in your coffee.
Well, I don't put syrup in my coffee.
Well, you should try. It's great.
I've tried it, and it's all right. It's fine.
Really good. It's It's all right, baby. Like,
no, it's fine. It's too much. It's too expensive.
It's not too much. You just you have to just scale it back. You just use a little bit. You don't need as much because it's got more flavor.
Wait, do you put cream in there too? And?
Yeah, of course. I put milk and maple syrup.
Huh.
Sometimes if I have heavy cream, I'll use heavy cream.
All right, I'll try it with milk then.
Well, do you not put milk in your coffee?
No, I just have black coffee.
Well, then of course you're like, why is there maple syrup in my coffee? You just drink black coffee.
Yeah, but I did try it once with just black coffee. It was pretty all right.
You got to put milk.
All right, I'll do the milk.
Oh my god.
I'll do it in the morning.
Okay. Yeah, keep me posted.
Mm-hmm.
But you wouldn't do that with Aunt Jemima.
No, God.
Yeah, it would be
no,
terrible.
Right. Yeah,
you wouldn't put, like, Aunt Jemima in, like, a pork marinade, would you?
No.
Like, you wouldn't maple syrup.
Or, tonight I had a nice hoisin sauce and maple syrup and soy sauce thing.
Yes.
It was very good. Yeah.
They go very well together.
Yeah.
I'm about to make, this is another food diversion. So have you heard about the maple milk bread?
No.
Oh
That
my
sounds
God.
really
Oh
good.
my God. So they just put the recipe in the New York Times, but so there's a food writer who he's been teasing this recipe because he was holding it for his like cookbook, which he was working on, and his cookbook just came out. His name's Eric Kim, and the like premiere thing like that he's been teasing is this maple milk bread. So he's doing like
I'm looking at it. Yeah.
yeah, and it looks so good. And I bought all the ingredients and I'm gonna make it, and I'm really, really excited. And I want to get his cookbook anyway, but that was the recipe that he like did a whole YouTube video, and they like put it in the New York Times, and yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
But it's like it's like you're making milk bread, but with a cup of maple syrup in it, and it makes it like kind of crunchy and great.
I'm excited about that myself. All right.
So.
And that was Dustin's Riverdale recap.
You're welcome.
We're doing great, guys.
We are. We're definitely not going off the rails at all. By the way, speaking of food, I forgot I was going to ask this at the start of the episode, and to surprise the two of you, and I forgot. Have you seen the new Netflix show, Is This Cake?
No.
I've heard about it.
Okay.
Only, like somebody, it sounds like the perfect drunk show. And somebody was talking about it on Twitter and how they were drunk in the middle of the night and watching it.
I think it released on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. It is a new...
Wait, that wasn't on Twitter. That was my son. Jesus.
Oh, wow. You are very online.
Yeah. It's a new Netflix competition show hosted by Mikey Day. So it already feels like an SNL sketch, except it goes for a half hour.
Is this like the thing where people would be like, "Oh, it's a normal food. Oh no, it's cake,"
Yes.
and they cut through it?
That is the competition.
It's that as a so people trying to make it, or people trying to guess.
So you have both sides of it. So you have the main chunk of it. They have different segments, but the main chunk of it is they have all these bakers who are on to compete, and then they have to pick. So like I've only watched the first episode, but the first episode they're picking between fast foods. So one picks a burger, one picks like a breakfast croissant, and one picks tacos, and then they have to make a cake version of that, and then it's put out with 4 real versions of the food, and then the celebrity judges have to try to pick out the cake, and then Mikey Day says some kind of tepid joke about how they gave him a knife, and then he's like, now I get to see, is this cake? And then they like cut through it, and either it's cake or it's like, oh, that was real food.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it feels like the kind of show it was mildly entertaining. But
it is the top show on Netflix right now.
Yeah.
Which is where we are in America.
But it really feels like it's a missed opportunity for, like, SNL has to parody this show and, like, make Mikey Day play himself.
What is left to parody? I mean, that's a parody itself.
I don't know.
I feel like I should remind you that a lot of states have legalized marijuana.
Yeah.
Which may play into the fact that this is the number one show on Netflix.
It is very well. To the credit of the show, the bakers are all very talented. So it's like if you like watching, bakers creating stuff, that part of it can be fun. Like it has that appeal. The rest of it, the competition of it is kind of, I don't know. So far, again, I've just seen one episode, but it didn't blow anything away. But I don't know, if some people just like watching cakes get made, and then you see like weird cakes that don't look like other things.
Well, and you're still building to the climactic moment, which all of those videos had, which was hopefully something that looks like another object that then somebody else slides a knife into,
right,
and reveals that it's cake.
Right. Yeah.
So you're just doing a whole episode of build up rather than just like a quick TikTok.
Yeah.
Wait, can the viewers Is there like a viewer component where like you can guess too whether it's real or cake? Or do you already know?
No, because you've seen enough of what it looks like that you should be able to
Oh,
pick it out when they bring out
that's too bad.
the final products. But yeah.
I want
Anyway,
cake.
that was the intent of that segment. Anyway, is this cake or is this cake, because it ends with a question mark, is on Netflix now, and I guess it's the #1 show. I did not realize that. But the people are watching that instead of other television like Tori's weekly watch, Kung Fu.
Yes, and I did my homework.
Did your homework this week, so...
Speaking of people who suddenly have superpowers.
It's time for another installment of Tori's Kung Fu Corner.
Dustin, I will need your help.
Oh,
Just,
well, all right.
I mean,
I'll
just,
do what I
you know,
can.
but like moral support, you know? So, unbeknownst to us as we watched it last week, it was actually a 2-part premiere. So this week was part 2. Mm-hmm. Last week, well, okay, so here's where we get into that whole thing where we release the episodes on Wednesdays when the new episodes air. So what we talked about last week was the episode 2 weeks ago. I am now talking about last week's episode, but by the time this episode airs, you'll maybe have already watched the 3rd episode. Just roll with me. Okay,
right,
so
right.
There's a 2-part premiere. So what we find out is all the things that we were like, oh, is this what's going on? Like, yeah, everything pretty much got answered this episode. Like, you know how, like, Dustin was totally like, oh, no, Sebastian's a villain. And we're all like, no, actually, I'm pretty sure it's like they're setting him up to be, like, Ryan's new boyfriend. Like, yeah, that was blatantly obvious in this one. Ryan was, like, in the kitchen and, like, cut himself.
You wait. It'll come back around.
No, it's not going to come back around. He is too handsome and too sweet.
You just don't drop a random guy into a show and starts working in the kitchen without turning him into a villain.
No. What? No. Literally, there is no precedent that you're talking about.
If Russell Tan wanted to plant somebody to, like, be a backstabber, who better?
Why would he want to do that?
Why wouldn't he? He's Russell Tan. He's like the bad guy. He want to infiltrate the good guys.
No. But he's not just like a random bad. Okay, so first, we're gonna come back to this whole Sebastian situation, but let's put a pin in that. So we find out what Russell Tan is up to, right? So we were all like, oh no, he's just like upset because the Bianca energy was released. Well, like, no, he's got a backup plan. There's some giant fucking bronze bell that he's trying to put together, and the pieces of it were underneath these buildings in Chinatown that he was trying to buy up, but then there was one building that was a holdout, so he was like gonna blow. So Nikki and what's his name, Garrett, thought he was gonna blow it up, but then
I believe his name's Evan.
Okay.
Derek.
We'll find out. So then they're like, he's actually blowing up the basement of the building that's next door so he can get in, because he's only interested in what's underneath these buildings. So they've been trying to figure out why he's making inroads in San Francisco. This seems to be part of it. He's like looking for these chunks of a bell that I'm sure are going to have other mystical properties. So that seems to be like what's going to go on this season. So we know what Russell Tan's grand design is. He also is after Mia, but the reason he's after Mia is because it's not just that her mother is of the warrior bloodline. We find out that her father, who she doesn't know, but she found a picture of in her mother's things, her father is one of the guardian bloodlines.
Oh, yeah.
So she's got power coming from 2 directions. So that's why she's special.
Oh.
Yeah. This is going to be like unprecedented.
It's like, wow.
Okay.
I mean, I don't watch the shows.
Yeah. We're doing this for his benefit primarily. Yeah. So anyway, what I'm saying is Russell has a lot of things going on. Has no interest in the dumplings and screwing with Nikki's parents.
But how do you know if he wants to stop Nikki?
But why? Why does he want to stop her? He doesn't seem interested in her. He seems actually only interested in her cousin, and he didn't realize that she was with them. You
just wait until Sebastian conspires with the sister's husband, and they become like the supervillain.
Okay, no, this is your anti-handsome bias speaking, and it's like it's getting really awkward.
Okay, it's not. I mean, Henry's a good guy, and he's super handsome.
He's incredibly handsome.
Yes.
Have you seen? Yeah, his shoulders have yet to make an appearance, but we're waiting. I wonder how long we'll be waiting.
But did you find that Derek was a little more handsome this year too?
I hate you. Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. But I think part of it's because it's not there. I like that he has settled into, like, he's got a very good working relationship with Nikki, and I'm not getting any more of those, like, love triangle vibes. Like, it seems pretty much, like, settled.
Yeah. For now.
What do you mean for now? What's more worrying is, like, I had a moment this episode when Nikki had Henry babysit Mia, and they start bonding over how, like, they both know how to pick locks, and I was like, you shits. I hope that writer's room did not decide to make a love triangle between Nikki, her cousin, and Henry, because Henry's shoulders should not have to pick.
You know what I was thinking?
What were you thinking?
I was thinking that if anybody that was writing on the show really wanted to learn about love triangles, they should watch Felicity, because that was like the godfather of love triangles.
It's really unfortunate that anyone who's writing on Kung Fu no longer has the opportunity to watch Felicity, because we've already passed that show in our bracket.
True.
True.
So if the writer's room of Kung Fu happened to be following along with our podcast,
a cartoon will do just fine.
Yes.
You'll learn lots about
romance,
love triangle. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Clone High has a huge love triangle in it.
Yeah.
So scoreboard, you know.
All right. All right.
Anyway, look, you're getting me distracted. Okay, so Ryan gets a Band-Aid from the handsome chef, who is clearly not a villain. Stop. A building kind of blows up in Nikki's face. Mia leaves to go chase her father. Mia, by the way, like, I know she's going to figure, like, I'm sure she'll be cool, but right now I'm just, like, really annoyed with her because she's just not listening to her family because she doesn't understand it. And I get it, but, like, these people are just trying to help you. Like, stop. Just listen. But anyway, so she's running away. Dumplings are still doing really, really well. And Jalon broke out of prison. By the way, she is getting, she's
badass too.
It was such a good fight sequence.
So good.
It was so good. Oh my God, she killed like I don't know, like 8 different assassins like in prison. It was great. But
and it came right at the end, and I thought, oh shit, they're gonna fucking to be continued this shit, aren't they? And then nope, they didn't. It's like
she kills them all, torches the place, and walks out with somebody else's identity and leaves her necklace behind. But the big thing is, so that's she now has all of the visions of her sister. So it's not Nikki having the visions of her mentor. Now the mentor is like tormenting her sister. And it's a great way to keep that actress in the show because she's wonderful. But also I just kind of like the whole dynamic. And then Russell Tan's kids are, so like the son that Jalon like thought thinks she killed, like the boyfriend that she thought she killed, he's not dead. He's alive, and he's like bickering with his sister, but the sister is like totally up her father's butt and will probably somehow, I don't know, maybe get special powers from the bell. I don't understand what's going on, but that's the whole thing.
You did notice when they blew up the building with a bomb that Nikki then gained the superpower to see menacing people that read auras.
I didn't notice that. That's from a different show.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're getting your CW shows crossed. But I do, look, Nikki has superpowers. She's very strong. She survived a bomb in her face. It was a very tense moment that like very much blew up in her face.
I'm pretty sure she was down the hall enough that it was.
Well, she was sort of,
like
but it blew her
blast.
sideways, and she got her arm was hurt.
That's true.
I don't understand how they got the piece of the bell to Russell as quickly as they did. Or maybe there are multiple bells. I'm a little confused about that timeline, but, it's fine. I don't need to understand. I'm sure it will all become clear as the season goes on. Was there anything else that you were confused about, Dustin?
No, I think that covers it. Okay. I enjoyed talking about that tonight.
Well, that was episode 2 of Kung Fu Corner. It'll be back next week, every week, as long as Kung Fu's on the air. Is my guess, and I appreciate it as always because I just don't watch the show, and it's nice to be filled in on what's going on.
Well, yeah, I hope you should start watching the show so that, if anything weird happens between Henry and Mia, that's going to cause some sort of love triangle that I am strongly against. You can commiserate with me about that.
That's fair.
Yeah, because I'll be angry.
Good to know. You know who else is angry? Or I'm guessing. I don't know. I haven't seen the show.
No.
It's the bad vegan, or the people who were scammed by the bad vegan.
No. I don't know. She wasn't. Okay, it's hard to say that she was just. Okay, so Bad Vegan, which is like the second most popular show on Netflix right now. Behind Is It Cake?
Society is fine, guys.
It's a documentary series about
the price. The Netflix is raising their prices. It's fine.
Yeah, you gotta.
This is why.
This is why. It takes a lot.
Yeah.
So there's this famous New York, I guess she was pretty famous, like raw foods chef, where she owned a raw food restaurant.
Oh, is it Dirt Candy? No. What was it called?
Pure and something? I don't know. It was famous enough that this particular woman, before the events of the series, apparently slept with Louis C.K. and got an STD, and Louis C.K. was like, that sucks, sorry about that, you should have made me wear a condom. He literally said that to her.
Trash.
She also weirdly, Alec Baldwin plays into the series because she almost hooked up with him, but it didn't work out. But he ended up meeting Hilaria in her restaurant, and then some guy started interacting with Alec Baldwin on Twitter, and Sarma noticed that and ended up talking to that guy and becoming close with him on Words with Friends, and then they entered into a relationship, and this guy was had all sorts of he said he worked in black ops and couldn't tell her anything about his job, but he was in love with her, and told her lots of things about how he's going to make her happy and whatever.
So it's the Words with Friends swindler.
He said he had a lot of money and he was going to make her life great. And then she, for reasons that aren't explained in the documentary, was in debt to $1.5 million in debt, and he's like, no problem, I'll pay that off for you, but how can we avoid taxes? And she's like, well, we should get married. So they got married.
Had they met in person at this point?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And he didn't look like the picture that she had seen. In fact, over the course of the relationship, he gained a ton of weight. Anyway, he was very vague about himself. Didn't say a lot and just kept asking for money. It's like, hey, I've got a lot of money. It's no problem. Whatever. Can you send me $4,000 or $10,000 or $20,000? And he's like, you have to do it in order to prove your love to me. And if you want everything to be great in the end, you just have to do this. And he said he gained weight too, because he's like, I need to prove that you love me, no matter what I look like. And it turns out that he had a wife and a kid, a previous wife and a kid that he never told her about, and took her for ultimately nearly $2 million. And she was just begging her investors for more money, and she was taking that money and just giving it to him.
Guy.
Yeah, who it turns out, and she didn't know this, was blowing it all in casinos.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then
some idiot is just giving him money.
right. Well, yeah, but then at some point, and he also stole money from her mom, just like sweet talking to her and giving money, like by saying you have to give me the money in order for me to save your daughter. Anyway, I don't know. It blows up. She doesn't pay her wait staff and sort of flees with this guy to Las Vegas, and they're fugitives for 8 months or something until he orders a pizza from Domino's and they find out from his credit card what hotel he's staying in, and then they capture him, and then there's a whole thing, and then they go to jail.
Both of them.
Yeah, she only served 4 months for stealing a lot of money, but she had an attorney the attorney that defended El Chapo, and this is not in the documentary either, but she also had a lengthy affair with him.
With the lawyer.
While he was defending her, yes. She is shady as hell, but she also, was the victim, but she was also victimized a lot of people. So it's kind of interesting in that way.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, she doesn't seem to have very good judgment.
No. You kind of feel bad for her, but also she seems pretty awful, and maybe she's doing this documentary in order to rehabilitate her image.
I mean, I feel like the moral here is just maybe cook your food.
Yeah. Yes. Who the fuck wants to pay that much money for raw food?
You can just cook your food. Sometimes you can make it cake.
If I wanted a carrot, I just buy a carrot.
I mean, there's a reason why Is It Cake is #1 show. Bad Vegan is number 2.
That's right.
Exactly.
I don't want to make a value judgment here, but I think we all know what's happening.
The good thing about it's only 4 episodes, and it's super addictive because it feels very much like a quick podcast. You just get hooked, and you find out how horrible these people are.
But do we need to watch it now that you've told us?
Nope, we really don't.
See, this is the service that this podcast provides.
Yeah.
I would not say it's a good documentary, but it's kind of mind-blowing for a little bit.
That's fair.
Sometimes Dustin watches things so that we don't have to.
Yeah.
In fact, I feel like Dustin does that a lot.
A lot. We don't watch a lot of things, though, Dan.
That's true.
But Minx, I think you're going to have to watch.
Okay.
Are we talking about that, too?
Well, just briefly, we should mention Minx.
Okay.
It's, I think it's based on an actual magazine that may have been called Viva, I think. In the 70s, some woman who wanted, she had this idea for a feminist magazine, and then she became business partners with a guy who did porn magazines, and in order to sell these sort of feminist articles, they decided to put them with pictures of naked men,
Which is why you want to talk about it.
Yes, obviously.
Penises.
Yes.
Okay.
So she's trying to package her her high-minded feminist articles with naked men, and so a lot of it is spent taking pictures of these men or finding the right men, and there's a whole montage of penises at one point.
I mean, look, we all spend a lot of time trying to find the right man.
I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. But it's pretty funny about penises is you can't show erect penises on HBO, but you can show as many floppy penises as you want. So there's just a shit ton of floppy penises in this.
Yeah. It seems like a completely natural boundary to draw.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Now, is there I don't want to pry too much, but I don't want you to give spoilers, but is there any sort of limitation if it's an erect stunt penis? I don't know. When they do the prosthetic
penis?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it floppy if it's real, but if you see it hard, it's a fake penis?
I don't know. I didn't see any hard penises though. That's all I'm saying. Also, Jake Johnson is in this, and he's the business partner that owns the porn magazines, and he's fantastic.
But you don't see... Do you see his penis?
You don't see his penis.
Because, like, his name is basically...
Sounds like a
right.
penis. Yeah.
There's something about... I'm looking at the poster art for this, and something about it feels like... Anchorman-y. Like I want
Anchorman, less Boogie Nights.
Like I want it to be Anchorman.
Well, I mean, like aesthetically, it looks like that, but like tonally, it's not. I mean, it's
right? I know it's not, but I'm just.
It is a comedy, and it's, it's a really good comedy.
Is it? But is the humor coming from the penises or from like the writing? The
writing, but the penises don't hurt.
Is this like that that Pam and Tommy show where
it talks.
The penis talks and it's voiced by Jason Mantzoukas?
No, there's no talking penises so far.
Could there just be Jason Mantzoukas?
No, well, I mean, there
not yet.
Could be, but there's not yet. No. And that's Minx. You should watch it. It's really good.
I mean, I feel like you've given us a lot to digest.
Really?
Yeah.
Digest.
I was going to say chew on. But
I know.
It felt kind of aggressive.
That feels, like a step too far.
Yeah. I mean, so's digest. I don't really know, like... Yeah, there's not really... I can't really turn that into a good euphemism. Anyway. All right, I guess I'll watch The Dick Show.
You should.
I need another drink. I'm out of wine.
All right, I gotta pee.
Oh, we're just gonna leave Dan on dead air?
Go ahead. Just no. We're gonna keep this going. But
Dan,
both of you.
No, you know what's gonna happen.
Give me a topic. Give me a topic.
Oh no, Dan, you gotta sing. You gotta sing a song.
I'm not singing.
Back. No,
give me
you're
a topic.
Singing. No,
give me a
ukulele.
topic.
Fucking sing, Dan.
I'm not. It's
I'm
not
going
gonna happen.
bye.
All right. So here's what's gonna happen.
Promise.
I'm gonna just transition us over to Severance. The Apple TV show that we've all been watching. We just hit episode 6 last week, called Hide and Seek. It was, I'm trying to remember what happened because, like most television shows, everything leaks out of my brain. The main things are that we got more Irving and Bert, which is Christopher Walken and John Turturro, and they're very lovely together, and their scenes are just very heartwarming. We got a little bit of Devon, Mark's sister, out in the world, and we got to see that there's definitely something slightly more sinister going on after her interactions with I'm blanking on the woman's name. I believe her name's Gabby, who was out, who she met at the pregnancy retreat cabin thing, and she sees her out in the world and seems like she is not, like she doesn't remember her. So maybe she's severed out in the world, like and it's this technology is being used for more evil. What else? Adam Scott and his team seem to be starting to reach new levels of insubordination, in large part because of his connection with Helly, and the fact that Zach Cherry kind of makes fun of them and says like, oh, thinks that they're kind of flirting with each other. They probably are, but either way, it's led them to kind of willfully disobey Harmony and Mr. Milchek. No, is that his name? Milchek. Yeah.
Yes.
But also the self-help book. Something's going on with the self-help book. Like that's inspiring him.
Well, it feels like
a terrible book.
Yeah, it seems like the soft platitudes of Ricken's book is kind of inspiring them all to, because everyone in macrodata refinement have read bits of it at one point or another already. So they're all it's almost like they're being awakened by like this vague new agey self-help book.
Terrible book. Wait, did you already talk about The almost kiss?
I just briefly. I was just giving a quick recap of the episode.
Just want to make sure.
And it kind of ends in a weird place where Mark meets someone on the outside who had been working with PD, and is that where it ends?
Yeah. He goes to meet the person who probably is helping with the effort of reintegration. So it probably helped PD with the reintegration,
right.
Which is what what's her name? Harmony, like Patricia Arquette's character, like they have identified her.
Mm-hmm.
So her dude, the guard, whatever guy, is on his way to go see this woman, and Mark also has finally answered that cell phone,
right,
and is going to meet this woman. And it just sort of abruptly ends.
It ended so abruptly that I watched like the next 5 minutes. I will say the next 5 minutes in the next episode are kind of like holy shit moments.
Okay, so how do you manage to only watch 5 minutes of the next episode and not just watch the whole episode?
Because it's just like the last time I did it. They have the big holy shit moment or the reveal, and then
and then it moves on.
Sort of being,
But don't you want to just keep watching?
I have so many other shows to watch that I have to move on.
Like Riverdale?
Yes.
I mean,
well, it is funny though because these episodes have had that feeling of cutting off abruptly, which I don't know. It feels like it could be like, if this were a Netflix show, then it's like a calculation to get you to watch the next episode, right?
Right.
Right.
But I wonder if there's something about this is not well thought out because it just popped in my brain, but because the show is so unsettling, and like this is almost a way to continue to unsettle the audience just by not giving you closure, because the characters never get any closure because they're so, because of the process of being severed, they don't get to reflect and process. They're just like, things just end and it starts again.
The episode's also just severed.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah.
Did you talk about the birthing woman?
Again, just briefly, just mentioning that it was a weird thing. So
and she's like married to some
birthing woman, the doula.
Yeah. Gabby.
No, the woman who
gave the sister
coffee.
Coffee. Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, well, so and then the sister starts researching, and the husband is like a politician who has been supporting Lumen's Severance program.
Right.
I think the woman is severed.
Mm-hmm. But I was trying to figure out
why she didn't recognize her.
Well, maybe.
Right. Yeah. But what is she? When? When is she severed? So is it out in the world versus in private? Or I don't know. Like, is her like quote unquote like work self is like the public facing?
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking like a work self is like I don't remember. Was she like a work self as a stay-at-home mom?
Maybe. I mean, because the only times we saw her were out in the park, in this episode, out in the park, when Devin, Mark's sister, runs into her. And then previously it was just in the cabin, right? Those are the only two times.
What if she's severed when it's like literally like when her husband is around versus not around?
Oh, he's like the elevator, the trigger.
Like, imagine your marriage is so for show that you have a personality that just handles your husband, and then you have a whole other life, like literally your husband is just not there.
That's wild.
That makes sense and is a real bummer.
Yeah, I like that theory. It's better than not. Do you still think the Patricia Arquette theory?
No, shut up.
Yeah.
What was
I was looking for
Yasmin.
I was looking at it for this week. I was like looking closely, trying to decide.
No, because this week she does the whole like I'm gonna do the cure prayer or whatever, and it was I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah, now she's just a zealot.
Yeah, she's just a zealot.
Wait, let's go back to.
How does she sleep though? If she has to be like a nanny during the day or night?
No,
And then
she
has
doesn't. She only did that to get close to his sister.
Yeah.
I know, but she still has to do it.
No, they
we
didn't
don't
necessarily
know.
hire her. She just did it once.
She's a nursing consultant.
Mm-hmm.
Like, once Devin figures out how to get the baby to latch, I think,
Yeah.
it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, before I forget, let's go back to the Bert and Irving almost kiss. It was just a lovely scene.
God,
and
they touched foreheads. It was so tender.
Something bad is coming out of that. That is going to be like the...
quiet.
Don't do this.
They're going to give you like at the end some satisfying resolution with Adam Scott's character, but they're going to have to destroy them.
No.
In order to... No, it's an...
I'll tell you this right now. I will sacrifice like 10 Adam Scott's characters for like Christopher Walken and John Turturro's happiness. I love that they're doing this whole thing, and I love that it's a slow burn, and I just love how tender it is.
Mm-hmm. And like it feels very in a way that makes sense, because obviously the severed personalities are children in a lot of ways. So like it feels like kids like figuring out how crushes work.
Well, right, but it's also that thing of like, just because, you know, this is supposed to be your work self, it doesn't mean that you don't have all those same instincts.
Right.
So it's like they have no context for their lives, but they know what they're attracted to.
Right.
It's beautiful.
We also got a brief moment at home with Zach Cherry's Dylan, specifically when Milchick wakes him up.
Yeah.
And it's like real shocking and kind of upsetting.
Yeah, that's a whole wrinkle, so they can wake you up at home if they want to.
Right. And Zach Cherry has a kid, and obviously his severed self does not know that and is very confused.
But didn't his severed self say, "Hey, is that my kid?"
Yeah. He's like, "What the fuck?"
Crazy.
And then he wakes him up and then flips back.
Oh. That's upsetting.
So
why? But again, why is Patricia Arquette only like? Why are they? I get. Like, do you think Milchick happens to be Zach Cherry's neighbor? Like, why? Like, why does Mark seem to have this special?
like, why is he like the special one?
Yeah, like why is Patricia Arquette like living next to him and infiltrating his sister and like going to all? Is it just because of Petey, or are all of the people in that department? Do they all have kind of watchers?
There must be something. I mean, there have been enough hints from Patricia Arquette's side that, like, when in this was not this past episode, but the week before, when she tells I think Grainer, the other evil guy, when she tells him like, I'm trying something new, like it seems like this is like her pet project. I don't know what that means, but it's almost like whether it's because Mark moved in next to her when he took the job, or after he was in the department and then she took over. I don't know. I mean, the timeline of that, who knows? But it feels like, you know, this is her special project, whatever she's doing with them, and it doesn't seem like it's not necessarily just her, you know, trying to save her own job because they're going. I don't know. I mean, that's just a theory. Because otherwise, it's just too much. Like, if she didn't care, then she would just get rid of them, and you know, who cares?
Right.
But
3 more episodes.
3 more episodes. Any shocking predictions or weird places you think it's going to go?
I think the Lakers will win the championship.
Oh my! Well, I don't know what that means.
All right.
I just want John Turturro and Christopher Walken to kiss. That's all I want.
I think we'll get that.
I think we will, right?
I think so.
I think so too. Right before they kill one of them.
No.
You be quiet, Dustin. You shut up. Shut
All
up.
right, you know what? On that
I don't
note,
know how you don't see it's inevitable.
No, on that note, let's just move on to the thing that's probably that will probably make you happy, but might make you unhappy.
Well, I've already had my moment of devastation.
It's time for the semifinals of the Fiscal First Quarter Categorization Challenge. 4 shows left. Only one will be the ultimate winner, which we will watch in, I think, July. We keep saying, or I keep saying. So,
or maybe August. We don't
or
know.
August, but sometime. Let's go. Let's save the good one for last. So we'll start with because there's one undercard and one main matchup. It's obvious. So we'll start with Clone High versus Attack on Titan. Now, just to see where these shows have come from. Clone High was my nominee. It beat The Resident, The Mighty Boosh, and Felicity. So
unfairly.
knocked out a couple of powerhouses.
Yeah, Felicity.
Meanwhile,
that's pretty impressive.
Very impressive run. Honestly, I did not expect Clone High to get this far. And on the other end of it, Attack on Titan, which is a Tori show, defeated The OC, Wonder Falls, and then The Class. So, good. Another good. Two. These two teams. It's respectable runs. It's not like they got an easy route to this point. So, what do you got? Attack on Titan or Clone High? I feel like we've talked about the reasons why, but again, just to reset it for Clone High anyway. 1 season show, beloved sitcom, back when MTV was doing animated sitcoms. 13 episodes. Bill Lawrence, Lord and Miller. They recorded the voices in the basement of the Scrubs Hospital. What more could you want? And they're bringing it back. I think probably. I'm assuming it'll be back like next year, but they're bringing the show back. So that's all I got. That's the Clone High. That's why you'd watch Clone High.
Unlike Clone High, Attack on Titan doesn't have as much of an obvious hook timeliness factor necessarily. I will say that it's based on a very popular manga. It's a very popular anime series. Probably one of the most popular, certainly like going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
People have been waiting for the last season for quite a while, and the last season is about 2 or 3 weeks away from being done. So we're kind of discussing this in the midst of its final run. It is, I don't have it does not have the pop culture hook of Lord and Miller or your Bill Lawrence or anything like that, but I will, I do think that it is, I wanted it in just to have some anime representation as opposed to just general animation. It's got a really good, solid story with a lot of surprises, and I think that the drama of it, especially because I'm in the midst of watching the last season, has taken some cool turns where characters that have been out of it for a while have come back. Characters that you thought were there for the long haul go away. There's a lot of surprises and different. Actually, the whole setting for the season is starts out in like literally a completely different continent. You're like, what the fuck's going on? So, it's a really cool show that develops interestingly. It would be a little bit harder than Clone High in that it's not a 1 season thing. I would have to kind of pick and choose episodes, but I think that Look, I mean, I think Clone High should win, but I'm really happy. I'm really happy that Attack on Titan made it this far, and I love this show. Shut up.
I'm just shocked that you think Clone High should win.
I do. Well, no, because I want to watch Clone High, but I'm really happy that Attack on Titan got this far, because I actually, and in a weird way, if Dustin could put aside his anti, cartoon bias,
right?
I actually think he would enjoy the story. I'm not from a romance. It's no Felicity. I understand. There's no romantic triangles or anything like that. But there are some themes I think he would maybe be surprised to find in a cartoon, and that was kind of why I did pick it with Dustin in mind, in the hopes of showing him something that maybe he wouldn't expect from a cartoon.
Right. Mm-hmm. And I will say, I mean, I've only watched the first season of Attack on Titan, but it was very... I didn't stop because I didn't enjoy it. It just kind of lost track of it. But it's a very... it was really entertaining and very kind of like... I mean, it's a very adult cartoon as far as like the level of violence and the themes that they're kind of dealing with. So it's... it's worth it for sure. Also,
in terms of action, like, I just want to say this because we probably won't end up watching it, but like the whole thing takes place. So I just want to talk about the action. So there are these giant like titans, right? Mm-hmm. And they like stomp around and break walls and like kill people, and they like chew on people and whatever. They're just like big, giant, naked monsters. And so this society that has like protected themselves behind these walls, they form they're like the scouts. They form this one military group that is specially trained just to kill these titans. And so they develop these special weapons, these long like breakable swords, and these this gear that lets them ride. They literally like grapple. It's almost like they become Spider-Man, but without special powers. They just grapple to walls and trees and like soar through the air. And it creates these incredibly dynamic, like animated action scenes where they're all just flying around trying to cut the backs of the necks of these titans for reasons, and it goes on and on and on. And so, but you just have these heroes that you root for because you're watching them. They start out as kids and they're training, and they get better and better and better as they go on. And even as the show gets bigger and the stakes get bigger and there are more and more complications, the satisfaction of watching those scenes, which still in the last season, a lot of times it still just comes down to like, no matter what else is going on, you just still have somebody with that gear and those swords, and they're just going out and having to fight and it's so satisfying. And there's a lot of secrets around how the Titans came to be, what the Titans really are, why some Titans happen to have special intelligence that other ones don't seem to have. There's a lot of secrets. It's great.
I'm assuming that I'm the decisive vote on this one.
I think so, yes.
Well, unless Dan or I switch sides.
Well, Clone High seems like, if I'm gonna like a cartoon, it has all the ingredients to be the cartoon I would like. But part of me is like, fuck you, you beat Felicity, and I want to vote against you out of spite. But in the off chance that one of these shows wins next week, and I have to watch it, I'm going to go with Clone High.
That seems like the probably the best decision, Dustin. I feel like, at least for you.
Yeah. I will go with Clone High as well. I do.
Oh wow! A sweep.
I think it'll be a better podcast show. I'm just really happy that Attack on Titan got this far.
I love that you made Dustin choose first before reveal.
Yes.
That's perfect. It's great. It's
Well,
perfect.
because if he had chosen Attack on Titan, I would have voted for Attack on Titan. Just to honor his sacrifice.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah.
The other thing is that if Attack on Titan had won, it would suddenly be like, oh, maybe we should watch Attack on Titan.
Right. Now it's like nobody's ever going to watch it because
Right.
it didn't. Yeah. No, I get it. That's fine. I'm going to demand to talk about the finale when it airs in a couple weeks because I'll just be like, screw you guys.
Well, I can't wait to hear about that.
Equal time with Felicity.
That finale aired a long time ago, and you've already explained it.
Also, I feel
you
like
want to come back and tell us who she chose in both versions of reality.
Yeah. Speaking of things, I'm very excited about. It's the other matchup. It's because it's two Tori shows, DuckTales versus Justified.
I am almost willing to just let her make the decision.
So
No,
Tori, obviously, we want to hear Tori's thoughts, but the short version, DuckTales, possibly Tori's favorite show in this bracket. Justified, which Tori chose. It's probably the best show Tori could have picked that she hasn't seen.
Yes.
Also because it kind of fits perfectly within the structure and like how much time we'll have to watch a show. Tori, what are you feeling?
You know what I'm feeling. Look, here's the thing. You sons of bitches are going to pick Justified, so I'm going to vote DuckTales just because, like, that was the thing. I can't believe it made it this far. It's the one thing I just want to watch it with Dustin. I just want to share the joy, and I understand.
Tori, you got to stop.
Shush,
You're going to talk Dan into it.
Shush. I'm not going to. I know I'm not going to. So I'm just saying, look, I understand that Justified makes more sense. I am kicking myself for even putting it out there because you guys hadn't even thought of it. And if I just kept my mouth shut,
it was 100% on my list.
Oh, okay. Well,
it
fine.
would have ended up somewhere in the bracket.
Damn it. Well, I should have just let you do it rather than me do it and just shooting myself in the foot. But the point is, I understand that I should watch it. I would like to watch it with you guys. I know that in every version of reality, us watching Justified together this summer would be good for us and good as a podcast, and it would make the most sense. However, I choose chaos. And frankly, I just DuckTales is a show I absolutely love, and I just want to watch it. I just want to get Dustin to watch it, and I want to share it with you. It's got great guest stars. It's so heartwarming. He should watch it with his kids. He should watch it with us. We should just talk about it all the time because it's a brilliant adaptation of something that could have just been like stupid nostalgia, and they transformed it into something both respectful and that stands on its own. And it's a cartoon. It doesn't, like, there is an overarching story, but we can just pick fun episodes and have fun with it. And I'm not going to convince you, and I'm just I hate that we're here, but I'm so happy that it got this far that I'm just torn, and I've already switched to blackberry sour beer because I drank all the wine, and I'm not feeling pain, okay? I
just feel like the words you're saying suggest you're talking to me, but in reality they're directed to Dan in order to manipulate Dan into doing this for me.
No, because if I wanted to manipulate Dan, I would come up with some sort of I would like Dan, I swear to God, if you vote for DuckTales, I promise I will actually pay for Hulu without ads. I will upgrade my subscription if you will just vote DuckTales.
Now hold on there. That's an interesting argument.
So, what else would you like? I'll mail you.
Dan, stop.
Would you like me? No. Have you ever tried maple whiskey?
There's no bribery. You can't.
I feel like you'd probably just remind me.
No, we never said those rules. Dustin.
That's
If
true.
I'd known that,
I feel like you would just remind me that Ben Schwartz and Danny Pudi are Dewey and Huey.
Oh my God, they are. Have you? Okay, so if you like The After Party, did you know that Ben Schwartz is literally playing his character Sans Murder in DuckTales? Jason Mantzoukas is in it. Oh God, who are the? It's just, They do an episode that's basically, so you have David Tennant as Scrooge McDuck, but then they do a time travel Christmas episode, which is the most Doctor Who thing you could possibly do. So it's just brilliant. Bex Bennett is Launchpad, and he's perfect. But they use him to bring in Darkwing Duck, which is a whole other crossover, but they do a really, really good job with it.
Yep.
And it could be its own. It's just
Darkwing, played by Chris Diamantopoulos, who's great.
Yes, but then they bring in the guy who played the original Darkwing Duck. So they actually, and then they have him transform into Negaduck, who is one of the villains of Darkwing Duck. Like, there is a whole multi-episode Darkwing Duck arc that is so smartly done. And Paul F. Tompkins is oh God, he's the lucky.
He's
Gladstone, yes. He's great. Paget Brewster is in it. Paget Brewster.
Dustin, Margot Martindale is in it.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, but that was what I was going to say about Justified, in order to remind you that we would be watching the second season, the Margot Martindale season, the season that made Margot Martindale.
We also probably need a couple of season 1 episodes.
Yeah, but I thought she's the first. Beagle.
Yeah.
The first and the last of the pilot and the finale of the first season.
Yeah, probably something like that.
Then season 2.
Whatever, but we could just listen to her as Ma Beagle.
There would be no Ma Beagle if there were no Justified.
You don't know that.
Well, it wouldn't be Margot Martindale.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, Giancarlo
Mark
Esposito.
Evan Jackson.
Mark Evan Jackson. Oh my God, plays the secret villain. It's
Michael
such a good reveal.
Jim Beaver.
Yes.
Wait, no, Jim Beaver's in Justified.
No, I'm pretty sure he's also in DuckTales. Everyone is in DuckTales. Paget Brewster, Dustin.
Well, Stephen Root's in Justified, and he's got to be in DuckTales. He's in everything.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he literally is in everything. It's true.
Win Duffy. Oh man, this one has Kevin Rankin from Friday Night Lights. Yeah, that's the season with Kevin Rankin.
Beck Bennett, Kate Micucci, Bobby Moynihan, Lin-Manuel Miranda plays Gizmo Duck. Oh, and they have Jim Rash. So there's a bunch of people from Community. Jim Rash is in it.
This is very funny. There's so many things, so many good reasons to watch both shows.
But I just need to reiterate, Jason Mantzoukas.
That's true. We weirdly do not have a lot of Jason Mantzoukas in this bracket.
We don't.
It's very distressing.
Yeah.
So Dustin, what are you voting?
Oh, I'm voting for Justified.
All right, let's see.
My husband just came up with a note to share because I should point this out. So you know how Donald Duck always has this voice that's like, and you can't really tell who he is? So do you know who voices him when he, on the few occasions where his voice changes and he can talk like a normal duck? Do you know who Donald Duck is voiced by?
No.
Don Cheadle. Are you going to deny the joy of watching Don Cheadle as a pantsless duck?
Win Duffy.
I don't know what that means.
He's a character in Justified.
All right. Well, let's see. Let's just think about this for a second. So, Justified, I feel like, is probably easier to. It has all the podcast reasons why.
Yes.
It's also. It's a show that I was going to rewatch anyway, and do pop in and out from time to time. So it's the easier lift, which is not necessarily a good thing. It is also. It feels like a show. It feels worse somehow that Tori has not seen Justified than that Dustin has not seen DuckTales.
That's fair. I admit that.
The arguments for DuckTales, besides the fact that I'm sure Tori would curate a very lovely batch of episodes,
Yes.
and forcing Dustin to watch a cartoon, it also means that there would be 2 cartoons in the finale, which means Dustin will have to watch a cartoon.
That was one thing I did want to point out. Like we could have a cartoon v cartoon.
I mean, at that point, it doesn't matter because Dustin has already lost.
Right, and it would be you versus me, which could get heated, but like we're all winning.
Right.
I mean, unanimously winning as
right.
two people. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm going DuckTales.
Yes!
No, Dan. No, Dan.
Yes!
No, you can't do that.
Oh my god!
Dan, no.
Oh my god!
But here is my request for next week, because we're only gonna have one matchup next week. Tori, I would like you to. It doesn't have to be final, but like give us a. I want you to be able to give us an overview of like what we're gonna be watching with DuckTales.
Oh my god! I will. I promise. I will. I will. I'm on the floor. I'm so excited.
Chaos.
I gotta
You
sign
chose
up
chaos.
for Hulu without ads. I will. I will come up with a whole. So I'll come up with at least 4 weeks of episodes.
We can definitely do Justified in August though.
Yeah, we could do both. I mean, we could also just do like let's say Pushing Daisies.
Yeah.
At some point. Or, Felicity.
We can always do a rewatch
Did
and attach
Dustin
it
leave?
to stuff. I don't know.
No, I'm here.
Oh,
Dustin,
you're so upset.
Dustin, you and I have Tori. We can get Tori to watch season 2 of Justified.
I will.
Yes.
I could watch all of.
Also-
If it means that I can get Dustin to watch DuckTales, I will just watch all of Justified.
I got no fucking choice now. do I?
Also,
Unless Clone High wins.
Dustin, no joke, Clone High could win next week. Like
Yes!
I'm probably not voting against Clone. Like I mean, I might, but it seems unlikely. So.
And I do want to watch Clone High.
Yeah.
Oh no, shit! He's gonna because Dustin's gonna vote for Clone High just to fuck me over. Shit! Fuck this.
I don't know. At this point, I would actually not. I mean, yeah, I would not want to upset you that much because I feel like it would be like the Felicity thing to me, and I would not want to hurt you in that way.
Oh, because you're a better person than I am. I see
Yes.
what I understand. I get it.
DuckTales versus Clone High. That's the finale next week.
Wait, I don't know that this is a better outcome. I'm so conflicted now. Okay. Well, I'll have to come up with a really good episode.
Chaos. Chaos reigns.
Congratulations, Dan. Tori, you just picked Clone High.
I did.
Not necessarily.
I know.
Not necessarily.
Let's see how it goes.
I gotta be honest. That was pretty fun for me.
I did not expect that. I was like, okay, Justified. It's gonna win. Justified's gonna win.
All right. Well, we've gone on for quite a bit, so we should probably just end the show here. What comes out next week or this week that we'll be talking about next week? Atlanta will be back.
Yes.
And something else comes out. Pachinko, yes, Pachinko. Everyone should watch Pachinko, at least based on early reviews. And
Bridgerton season 2.
Oh right, Bridgerton.
Dustin's gonna be watching it. He loves it.
It's
I'm
true.
right.
And so much more TV.
The Servant finale. Not that you guys care, but
No. Does anyone care?
saw it.
I
saw
don't
it.
know.
It was like holy shit. So, I'm just
I don't know what that show
warning
is.
you. No, Apple TV, Servant, M. Night.
Oh,
Shyamalan.
Right. Yeah, I've never
Also-
seen it.
You should
There'll be
explain it to
Severance.
us next week.
Maybe I'll catch up on Minx. Who knows? Survivor Australia. Oh, so much TV.
Welcome to Flatch.
Welcome to Flatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think next week will be at some point, or maybe this week, the finale of Our Flag Means Death.
Oh, right. Oh, my God. There's so much
Although
TV.
there's like a bunch of episodes. So I don't know.
Yeah.
No, last week was the finale.
No.
No.
Was
there's
it?
More.
I think this week will be the last 2.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be 10.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was 3 episodes, 3 episodes, 2 episodes, 2 episodes.
Anyway. TV never stops, and neither do we.
Neither does seltzer water.
Until it goes flat.
Right.
Wait, was that part of the actual episode? It was, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Okay.
What, us talking about seltzer?
Us talking about seltzer.
Yes.
For a good 20 minutes.
It's been
yeah.
so long ago now that I don't remember because
Guys,
this
it's gonna
episode.
be a great episode.
Oh
Dan,
no,
I'm-
this is legit a great episode.
I'm so
calling
glad that you are healthy and drinking. I feel like
It's,
that just really set the tone.
You know, it's pretty good, is what I'm saying. This whiskey. Anyway, that's the show. We'll be back next week. It's very late for the two of you. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Oh man.
No, but seriously, what the hell are we gonna do next week?